This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good afternoon. Healthcare services may be slowing down at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital UPTH. It comes as the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors NARD started an indefinite strike today. A visit to UPTH by our correspondent showed that the resident doctors declined to attend to outpatients today over fear of being fined by their association. A patient collaborated this with our correspondent.
We are here yesterday for my son. Then they say we should come here by 8:30 this morning today. Then as we come, they say I should show that my folder for them to attend to him. One doctor say there is a strike. They say yes, there is a strike. I beg, my son case is somehow is paining him. He said no, they cannot see them. If they mistakenly see them walking to us, they will collected 100,000 for their hand. I feel bad. I'm not happy because last night my son no sleep.
Meanwhile, the president of ARD at UPTH, Noah Ibe Arthur, all said promises by the House of Representatives to look into the issues affecting resident doctors in the country do not translate into implementation, as a memorandum of understanding signed by the association and the federal government has not been implemented.
Natural law allows any man who sows to reap. Wike was at the epicenter of our victory in Rivers State. I was there to keep the house, and I can tell anybody who did what. Wike has more value to bring to the table. So now,
apologies there. That's the wrong file. We'll get the right file later on. Apologies. The doctors are demanding the implementation of a one-for-one replacement policy for healthcare workers, immediate payment of all salary arrears, implementation of the consolidated medical salary structure, a new hazard allowance, and the domestication of the Medical Residency Training Act, amongst others. The strike comes after the association issued a 2-week ultimatum to the federal government for the implementation of all its demand on July 5th. In another development, Deputy Programs Manager, New Nigeria Foundation, Bumi Olatunde, has condemned the intake of alcoholic drinks by pregnant women and lactating mothers. Mrs. Bumi made this known during a roundtable for media on promoting responsible beverage service in the media. She said the unborn child takes in the exact quantity of alcohol an expecting mother drinks, which can be harmful to the baby. She also advised that alcohol should not be sold to pregnant women.
Women who are pregnant or planning pregnancy should not take alcohol. If you are so hungry for alcohol, wait until that time, save that baby first. But please protect the life of that baby. Very important. The placenta does not protect the baby from alcohol. Many women do not know. And there are lots of misconceptions out there. This is one very key message that the Responsible Beverage Service tries to promote.
She noted that children should not be given alcohol as it may affect them mentally. Moving on, the Nigeria Labour Congress has put plans in place for a nationwide strike scheduled to begin on the 2nd of August. The National Treasurer of the NLC, Hakeem Ambali, made this known to the Punch newspaper. Mr. Ambali said the Central Working Committee of the Union issued a 7-day ultimatum to the federal government to conclude all negotiations with Labour or face industrial action. As you may know, a court order which barred the Congress from going on strike in June still stands. Away from having urged efforts in ensuring the additional release of a kidnapped female journalist, Anthony. Recall that Mrs. Wall, director of news at River State Broadcasting Corporation, with Gun Gulf Estate Transfer Access Talk last. Her family says her captors abandoned 1 million naira ransom. It was later 10 million. Secretary of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in River State, Ike Wigodo, tells our correspondent that the family cannot afford to pay a ransom for her release. And some of our colleagues at the River State Broadcasting Corporation also spoke on the matter. They also spoke on how her abduction has affected the morale of the staff. The Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) has described as despicable yesterday's scuffle between operatives of the Department of State Services (DSS) and officers of the Nigerian Correctional Service over the custody of the suspended CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. NBA President Yakubu Marika, in a statement today, called on the two agencies to take immediate disciplinary measures against officers involved in the disgraceful conduct. He said the altercation between officers of the two government agencies on the premises of the Federal High Court in Lagos is a recipe for anarchy and chaos and disrespect for the sanctity of the court premises. Moving on, the anticipation over the list of ministerial nominees continues to build as APC chieftains in River State. Tony Okocha says those in the APC who are kicking against the nomination of former River State Governor Nyesom Wike are forgetting the role he played to ensure that the APC wins the presidential election for the first time in the state. Mr. Okocha said this in an interview with correspondent Martha Okerinkem following unverified online reports that former Governor Wike has been excluded the purported list of ministerial nominees yet to be sent to the National Assembly. Mr. Okocha says the former Rivers Governor has value to bring to the table.
There was a memorandum of understanding that was signed. Natural law allows any man who sows to reap. Wike was at the epicenter of our victory in River State. I was there to keep the house, and I can tell anybody who did what. Wike has more value to bring to the table. So now that the food is ready, right, everybody is longing to come and eat. But when we were struggling to put a structure down, we were not there. People who are making these allegations are either of the Amechi's camp or that they are the Magnus's camp. So what care do they have in jail? They should just go and sleep. The arrow has already left the bow.
On his part, APC's Omiete Ferrebo says he does not believe that former Governor Nyesom Wike's name will not be on the list of ministerial nominees.
I listen to things that are concrete, facts, not issues that they carry all over. Fake news. I see it as a fake news. But at the end of the day, let us see. When the list is out, I still believe that the only person's name that will be on that list is Steve Baraseyen Wike. If it's not there, we'll give glory to God too. But I still believe his name will be on that list.
And you should know that the APC in River State under Emeka Beke has written an open letter earlier this month to President Bola Tinubu saying that former Governor Nyesom Wike's claims of working in favor for the party will only undermine loyal and dedicated APC members and other stakeholders. The letter was signed by APC chieftain Darlington Nwauju. The president has until July the 28th, which is this Friday, to send his ministerial nominees to the Senate for screening and subsequent confirmation in line with the 1999 Constitution as amended. Well, still to come, hotel staff who return dollars misplaced by customer to get more rewards. Stay tuned. News. My name is Jude Omamigbe. Mary Kekewaru, a staff member of the Oko Hotel Lagos who returned $70,000 forgotten by a customer of the hotel, is to be honored by 2 local government areas in River State. As you may know, Miss Mary Kekewaru, who has been receiving many accolades from Nigerians, including musician Davido, who gave her $10,000 for her display of honesty amid difficult times in the country. The chairman of Ikwe local government area, Samuel Wanosike, promised to give 2 million naira to customary to encourage good behavior and honesty. Also, the chairman of MOR local government area, where Mary hails from, Chidiloy, said the council will hold a reception in her honor this Friday as its brand ambassador. Recall that the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, in his reaction said Ms. Kekewaro deserves national honor and recognition. Corps Commander C.H. Kuje has assumed office as River State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps. Kuje, during an official taking over ceremony, promised to synergize with the River State government to ensure that the road signs are placed on roads.
River State today, we know it has undergone what we call infrastructural transformation, at least for the past 8 years or thereabout. And so it is our own responsibility to let people know how to use this infrastructure. If they use it badly, then there will be problem. I think we will have to also look at if there is a way we can even convince the state government to put road furniture. I think it is going to be of great help. That is road signs and other things, so that it will be able to assist the motorists to understand exactly what is going on.
And now the business news.
Before the business news, you recall that motorists in Port Harcourt have complained about the difficulties in navigating around the flyover due to its structural design. They called on the River State government to put signposts around the flyover to help road users find ways easily. And now to business. The Central Bank of Nigeria, that's the CBN, says it is slowly phasing out old 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes with redesigned ones. Acting CBN Governor Folashodun Shonubi made this known on Tuesday after the bank's Monetary Policy Committee meeting in Abuja. The Apex Bank also raised the monetary policy rate, which measures interest rate from 18.5% to 18.75%. In entertainment, the Actors Guild of Nigeria, AGN, says it plans to hold an international festival in Miami, Florida to create network for Nollywood actors with their global colleagues. A lineup of over 70 Nollywood stars are expected to attend the festival. In sports, Spain's Jenny Hermoso and Alba Redondo scored twice as they underlined their credentials as potential FIFA Women's World Cup winners by thrashing Zambia to progress to the last 16 with a game to spare. And finally, from the international scene, Cambodia's Prime Minister Hun Sen, one of the world's longest-serving leaders, has announced he will resign and hand over to his son in early August. The anticipated announcement came 3 days after his party again won all seats at an uncompetitive election. 70-year-old Hun Sen has become increasingly authoritarian after nearly 4 decades of rule in Cambodia. His eldest son, Hun Mane, until recently the commander of the Royal Cambodia Army, has long been groomed for the role. And that was the news this afternoon, but before we depart, a quick recap. On the news this afternoon, you heard that resident doctors' strike may be affecting healthcare delivery at UPTH. NLC has reportedly issued a 7-day nationwide strike notice over fuel subsidy. Kidnappers of female journalists in Port Harcourt have reduced the ransom to 10 million naira as more people call for her unconditional release. NBA has slammed the DSS and the Nigerian Correctional Service over disrespect of court premises. And on the foreign scene, Cambodia's Prime Minister has resigned after 38 years in power. The news was edited by Martha Okere in Kem. Cloudy weather is expected in Port Harcourt this afternoon with temperatures of about 27 to 29 degrees centigrade. Please be advised. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. My name is Jude Omamigbe. Good afternoon.